Hey guys, Sam from Panhandle Precision. Today we're going to look at RCBS's Brass Boss. Okay, we've been using the Brass Boss since about mid last summer, so roughly 9 or 10 months probably, and using it pretty hard. Up until the last couple of months, what we used it for mainly was deburring and chamfering cases that we'd trimmed already. You can see that there's a whole bunch of brass sitting here in the center section. We've cleaned this off a couple of times, so I won't even, I'd like to estimate that we probably ran cases over this upwards of 6,000 times, just deburring and chamfering cases. So, I feel like we did a pretty good durability test on it that way. Now, this can be used for a lot of different things, and only your imagination limits what it can be used for, but what we have here are 6 rotating stations and 2 stationary ones. So if you had this next to your reloading press or whatever, you could put case neck brushes right here. It also has an area where you could put in dry lube. It actually comes with a small container of dry lube, so you could clean your necks, put dry lube on them, run them over your sizing die or whatever. But we aren't using it in this part except for a storage area. Now, it has these 6 rotating stations. It's all variable speed. I'll get to the electricity here in a minute, but what's cool about this is that you could tailor this for whatever tool you're using on it. These 2 stations, which are 1 and 4, spin up faster than these other 4 stations do. So there's a gear mechanism inside that reduces it to let it go slower or faster depending on which station you're on. Now the max speed for 1 and 4 is 550 RPM, and the other 4 I believe are around 350 RPM. All the tools that come with this are all just standard steel tools. They are standard 832 threads, so anything that will screw into an 832 thread can be put on this machine. I think if I were to buy some kind of an upgrade tool, I would definitely think about getting the carbide chamfering tool and deburring tool, just to cut down some of the noise and a little bit of the chatter. It's not that the steel tools don't cut well, it's just that I know the carbide ones would cut better. But anyway, enough of that. I'm going to spin this around now and show you the power source. Okay, it runs off of a standard 3-prong 110 plug like this one. I usually leave it plugged into my power strip on the side of the bench. Then you have your AC adapter here. It plugs into that. I just leave that plugged in. Now for international folks, it comes with these plugs. Alright, and then it just plugs into the back with this simple jack right here. But you just leave that plugged in, and here's the switch. This is a variable switch. So you can tailor the speed to whatever you want it to be. I usually just leave it cranked up. Okay, so what the Brass Boss comes with, obviously, is all the electrical stuff. It comes with these case neck brushes for plugging into these stationary stations. Here's the little tub of lube I was telling you about, the dry lube that you can put down into that recess. And then it comes with a bunch of tools. Now these 2 are the deburring and chamfering tools, and then it also has a small and large primer pocket cutter cleaner, which is just a simple scraper to take the carbon off the bottom of the primer pockets in a case. It also comes with uniformers, so it has a small and a large pocket uniformer. Now these 2 tools are ones that I put on. This is just a wire type primer pocket cleaner, and this is just a 9mm brush I use for 6.5 cases. Now it also comes with crimp removers, so it comes with a small and a large primer crimp remover, as well as the large size primer pocket cutter. So as I was saying before, what I use this mostly for, or I have up until now, is simply chamfering and deburring my cases after I trim them. Jake and I have started using this as well for doing our fired case prep. So cleaning the inside of our necks, cleaning out the primer pocket, getting that carbon out of there. So up until recently, we did a lot of that case prep just by hand. So we would use a small drill with a brush in it and run over every single case, and then we'd take a primer pocket cleaner and scrape it out and then drop it into our tumbler. With this tool, we've been using it lately for doing that. So all you have to do is hold on to the case one time and clean out the inside of the neck as well as the primer pocket. So I'll just show you that real quick. and you're done. So you only handle the case one time, which is kind of cool. So this is a 9mm bore brush. That's what I use for cleaning out the inside of 6.5 cases. And then this is the included primer pocket scraper cleaner that comes with the Brass Boss. Okay, so what I usually do if I'm going to use this for deburring and chamfering is I just fire it up. I have them both in 1 and 4, which is the faster speeds. And then I have my trim cases here, and I have an empty tub there. So I'll just run across. And does a pretty nice cut on them. Now I won't even estimate how fast you can do this. You can get an idea of your productivity level just by watching those few cases, but it's definitely faster and easier than doing it every one of them with a hand tool. It's just tedious, plus it's easier on your hands. But you can stand here and do this for a long time. Okay, so I just timed myself. Even with messing around with the camera and all that stuff, it took me 9 minutes to do 150 260 Remington cases. And I only had to handle each one on one time to do the chamfer and deburr, which is a whole lot better than where I came from. But anyway, there we go. So I'll show you how I do the case prep next. Okay, before I get started on that, remind you that these are 832 threaded stations. We have the two that go faster than the others. These are about 550 RPM. The other 4 are about 350 RPM. Now they have a flat, like a nut thing that sticks up on the back of this one so you can grab it with a wrench. But what I usually do if I want to take one off is I just hold on to another one and pop it off. You don't have to gorilla torque these things on here to stay on, but anyway, there's the one that has the little hex as part of it, so you can put a wrench on there if you want to tighten up stuff, but I have never had to do that. I just grab another one of these tools while I'm taking one off, and it just holds it in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin, I'm going to change positions here. I'm going to use my case neck and my small primer pocket cleaner. I'm going to take this large uniform route. Sorry about the hands. It's almost impossible to video this without getting my hands all over it. But anyway, we're going to screw this one in. If I can take a look at it, there it is. And then, it's going to rotate while you're doing that. If you just hold on to another one, you can tighten it right down. And you don't have to really put a bunch of pressure on there, but anyway, there it is. So we have our 9mm bore brush here and a small primer pocket cleaner there. So I'll just fire it up, turn it over, cleans out the primer pocket, cleans out the inside of the case neck. You don't want to push down too hard because this is contacting the bottom of the case, but the way that the scraper is set up is it's not really a sharp edge that'll cut unless you really force it onto there. So if you just drop it down on top and let it scrape off the carbon, then it just comes out clean, but it doesn't take material off. Another tool that can be used for that if you have one laying around is one of these old wire primer pocket cleaners. You just put that in its place. It does pretty much the same thing. It just scrapes. I actually find the one that came with the Brass Boss works a little bit better, but I'll show it to you. So like I was saying before, anything that you can think of, just use your imagination about what you can do with this, just as something that will rotate a tool for you up to 550 RPM and has complete control over the RPM, so you can slow it way down or you can speed it up, you can do anything in the middle. If you need something like this that you don't want to have to hold a drill or something like that, this is a pretty good tool for it. All right, before I close this out, I just want to do a little follow-up on this RCBS vibratory case polisher. This is the one I did the review on last year. If you haven't seen it, go look at it. We went through, I tried to come up with a way to really torture test it, just to, to test its durability, because how else are you going to do that? I don't remember all the criteria, all the things that I put it through, but go check it out. But I just wanted to do a little follow-up. We've been using it constantly. It's been out here in the shop. We use this all the time on our brass, and it's still going strong. So it's been a really, really, really good vibratory tumbler. But anyway, I got to run, so I won't be able to finish this up right now on video. But that was my demonstration and review of the RCBS Brass Boss. It's been a really good tool. It's been durable, problem-free. I haven't had any trouble with it whatsoever. It's just it's a real time saver, and it's a way to consolidate some of the procedures, some of the little things that I do on brass when I'm reloading it. So basically it helps me get out and shoot more and work a little bit easier to get my reloading done. But if you're interested in a tool like that, be sure to check it out. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you next time.